Hello, British audience. My name is Ilona Maher. Iona, I might get a lot of Iona here. Maher, Mar, just Mar. And then Ilana, a lot of Ilana. Ilona Maher. That's it.
Welcome to a special episode of Rugby Union Weekly with me, Sara Orchard, and I'm at the Bristol Bears High Performance Centre, and I'm joined by a guest who has just landed in the UK. She's making some pretty impressive waves, but I'm going to give her the big build-up before we properly get going. She's a qualified nurse. She's got a master's in business. She's just finished as runner-up on Dancing with the Stars. That's the US version of Strictly Come Dancing. She's a two-time Olympian, winning bronze at the recent Paris Olympics with the USA Sevens rugby team. It goes on. She's a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. In the last 48 hours, she's been named as Forbes Sports List 30 under 30 to watch. She's also the most followed rugby player on social media on the planet. If you don't know her, your kids probably do. And now she is a Bristol Bears women's player in the PWR. Hello, Ilona Maher.
Hello, that was a lot.
I know. Well,
a lot of words there.
The list keeps going, doesn't it?
It's been cool to keep adding to it for sure.
Now tell me, you haven't been here very long. How are you finding the British weather?
It's cold for sure. It's wet all the time, but I will say the facilities that the Bristol Bears have here are amazing. We do train a little late at night, and I did stop moving for a little bit, and everything froze, but I think I'll get used to it.
How are the legs and everything in comparison to sort of the dance training you've been doing, going to get back into rugby training?
They are sore. Yesterday was a lot walking. There was a couple stairs we had to take that really scared me, but they're definitely sore. It's a totally different thing going from dancing to rugby, and I think even lifting in a different way. I've been moving my body in such a completely different form, so now getting back into this will be a slow growth.
Also, you had a really good handshake.
Yes, of course.
Have you developed one yet here with your new Bristol teammates? Too early for a handshake?
You know, I just learned, though, that all the girls have their own handshake with Tom Luke, who's one of the coaches. So I guess I got to create one with him because he remembers everybody's little handshake.
That's quite a lot to remember. Yeah. There's a big squad there.
Big squad, yeah.
And on that, who have you already bonded a bit with? I've got a feeling that you and Hannah Bottomham, the England prop, are going to have a bit of food love going on.
Yes, we definitely, she just drove me here. Actually, we decided like an hour and a half in the car together. So that's been really cool to bond with her. I mean, genuinely, everyone has been so nice and welcoming. I mean, here's this girl coming in, playing sevens from a dance show and is like, hello, I'm joining your team. But they've been so nice. Hannah Bottomham, Jazz Joyce, who I've played against many times. She's, an amazing player for GB, tackled me a number of times. It's really been cool. Holly Aitchison, all these people that you get to watch, because I love watching, whether it's the Six Nations, whether the Red Roses play, to meet them in person and then to get to learn from them now, I think is just such an experience that's going to help me as I progress with my rugby journey.
Tell me, was the last time you saw Jazz Joyce was when she tackled you at the Olympics?
Why'd you have to bring that up?
It was quite a big moment,
Here's
wasn't
the deal, guys. The ball was wet. Jazz is a great tackler. But yeah, the last time I did see her was at the Olympics in that quarterfinal game, because in Tokyo we had a quarterfinal game against them as well. Played against her in that. She beat us in that. And it was almost like, okay, this is our time maybe. And really proud of ourselves. So yes, she is one of the best tacklers I've ever seen. She has no fear. When she gets for somebody, she's going to come up hard and drop low on the biggest people and give them the hardest hit of their life for all, I think, 150 pounds of her.
Just on that, though, tell me a little bit more about the squad, because I'm thinking you're clearly bonding with people quite quickly. There's some elder states women in that squad who have been and around women's 15s rugby for a long time. I'm thinking Abby Ward, I'm thinking Amber Reid. Are they sort of like bringing you in because they're the ones who are sort of the power players here at Bristol?
Absolutely. I mean, Abby Ward, I watched A Bump in a Road when it came out, the documentary about Abby's journey, having a baby and going back to rugby, and I messaged her right afterwards. I thought it was so cool. And so to be with them, some of the best players in the world who play such a crisp game that I'd love to play, I just know I'm going to learn so much from them. Like, do I think I'm, getting up to level? I mean, hope so, but the little things that I can take and I think will really translate into hopefully the USA team as well. I'm really excited because this has a ton of the, national team players, whether it's from Wales, from England, from Scotland. So this, I think, is a perfect environment for me.
Right, no pressure. But within 72 hours of your signature, Bristol have had to move their match with Gloucester Hartpury in January to a bigger stadium because you might be playing.
Yeah, and I think that's the key on there, the might be playing, right? Like, that's going to be when I just come back in the new year, so I don't think I'll be playing. which I want the girls to come out. What I want people to come out whether I'm playing or not. Like if I'm what gets them in the door, awesome. But I hope that they see the rugby that's being played is what makes them stay, because it's going to be a great game against Gloucester Hartbury, which is who they lost to in the final last year, who they just beat last weekend. So the big emphasis there is might. Everyone clip that. I will be there. I'm going to be cheering on. I'm going to be warming up, but come for maybe the TikTok girl, but stay for the rugby that you're going to see. That is going to be, on par with some of the best rugby.
You just described yourself as a TikTok girl. I mean, you are so much more than that. So I think it's really fair that for anyone who's maybe meeting you or hearing you for the first time, let's go back a bit. So you were always a big sports fan as a kid. Mm-hmm. Softball wasn't doing it for you. Your dad played rugby. What was it about rugby that just clicked for you? Yeah,
I was just talking to Hannah about this, but I played so many sports. I played field hockey, basketball, softball. I did some soccer, track and field. In the U.S., you're kind of encouraged to play all these sports. My dad was a rugby guy. I've been playing for years, but I never tried rugby because there's no quality high-level rugby for young girls and boys in the U.S. So I played, high-level basketball and whatnot. I decided to try out rugby my senior year of high school, and I think what just worked with me is this ability to not tone yourself down in the game. Like, they want you to be as powerful, as forceful, as fast as you can. Whereas in other sports, I've been told to tone down. In softball, I was told to pitch it slower at times. And in field hockey, I would go through people, instead of like going around them and you get the penalty. I think rugby is a really sport that allows you to express yourself in the fullest way possible.
And then from that, we move to sort of what I'm going to call your touch paper moment, which is the Tokyo Olympics. So not the last France Olympics, Tokyo. You took all of your TikTok and your Instagram followers into that Olympic village, and you just gave them a real taste of what it was like to not just be an athlete on the field, but off the field as well. How planned was that for you, that moment?
I knew that people are made at the Olympics. I knew that that's a place where you can build your brand and truly kind of cement yourself as an athlete. Simone Biles and Michael Phelps are the best in their sports. Katie Ledecky, they're the best in their sports. I play a sport like rugby, which is, more team sport, more subjective in a way. And I also, realistically, I'm amazing at rugby, but I'm not maybe the best at it, which is fine. I think there's so many great athletes like Portia Woodman, Maddie Lever right now who are just solid rugby sevens players. But I knew that the Olympics are where you can make yourself, and I knew that a sport like rugby might not be watched as much, but I have something else I can bring, which is personality. And before the Olympics, I went to a tournament in February, and I saw that I was posting a couple of videos on TikTok just for fun because my roommate was like, we should do this. And people with 5,000 followers were like, oh, you're the TikTok girl. And I was like, that's crazy how much that has spread with just that short amount of time and just one video. So I kind of used it as, this is a business move. Like, to do this at the Olympics, to get people in here, all the eyes are on the Olympics is the biggest thing when it's happening. And I just knew that people would be watching, and this could be my moment to make myself as an athlete.
You take that on. You've got 1 million followers now. You arrive in Paris. You get the bronze medal. I know you're a Love Island fan. The Olympic Village is the Olympic Villa.
Yeah.
Now, again, how planned was that moment? The bronze medal, of course, is your priority. Any medal is your priority. But getting the content right, how important was that?
Well, even before this Olympics, with my, manager Olivia and my agent Rianne, we were like, maybe we can do what we did in Tokyo again. We were kind of planning on that, but not putting all our focus on that, because who knew if injury would keep me out, if not being selected would keep me out. So it was always like, we could have another Tokyo moment, which would be great, but we'll see. And I knew that I wanted to still produce content in the village because it's something I'm good at. And also I've said it many times, but as a female athlete, it's the way for me to make more money and a way for me to get sponsorships. It makes me appealing to brands. And so I've used this platform to get myself out there. And I knew again that this Paris Olympics is going to be bigger because it's allowed fans. It's not COVID times. It's a different vibe around there. So I really was just knew that I wanted to put as much content out as I could. I did the first video about the Olympic Villa when we were actually in Tours, France for a pre-Olympic camp. Because I know people love seeing the single, they love watching Love Island, they love watching The Bachelor, they love seeing single people be single. So I'm like, I gotcha. So I just, related it to Love Island and called it the Olympic Villa. Posted that video. I kind of knew it would do well. And then once I got into the villa, I was rolling my bags in.
I love that you actually called it the villa. Yeah.
That's embarrassing. I was rolling my bags in, and a girl goes to me, oh, welcome to the Olympic Villa. And I was like, gotcha. So we had some off day. I posted when I could. I think what was really important for me is I post so much, but I also want to show that I'm still very good at what I do on the field. So it's not taking away from what I'm doing on the field, because I think some people think, oh, she's not serious with what she's doing. She's, posting on TikTok. She doesn't care about the sport. She's not going to be as good. No, I have to post on TikTok. That's where I make most of my money, my livelihood. That's where I spread my message in the game. But I also can put that aside and be a great player on the field.
So we're talking about the last 6 months now, because you go crazy. You get the medal. You're now on Dancing with the Stars. You're now here playing in the PWR. There's also a moment at the end of the games where Michelle Kang, American businesswoman, agrees to invest $4 million in the USA Sevens team. What did that mean to you?
I mean, that meant so much, because we got this medal. Like, our goal was to get that medal because our program relies on it. We're really supported by the U.S. Olympic Committee. So why would the U.S. Olympic Committee keep supporting somebody who's not getting medals for them? They want a team that's producing. It's America. We love winners, right? So we had to get a medal so our program could continue getting funding and people could see us as legitimate and something that should be sponsored. So the medal was a cherry on top. I think my teammates and I also knew the impact we could have on social media, and a lot of my teammates were posting and we were all doing our thing. But to get that $4 million sponsorships was really impactful, because she saw our value, which we already knew we had, but this was somebody truly seeing it and investing in it. And this is setting us up for hopefully a win in LA 2028, because we want to bring in the best players, but as all sports do, they need money, they need funding.
Do you think that money could be the difference at LA 28 for that Sevens side?
I hope so. I hope it is. I hope it's used well to make a difference. I think we have to create a better pathway and get the best players in that we can and start molding them now. I mean, we have 4 years, but 4 years goes by really quickly, and then you're at the Olympics and it's a 3-day tournament and that's it. And then you have to wait another 4 years. I hope it's used well. I hope it's used for player funding so that they can live pretty well and live comfortably to be able to just focus on rugby. But we did that so that all these girls coming into the program can live better lives as a professional athlete.
I've got so much more I've got to ask you. My brain is fizzing right now with rugby. Yeah, it goes a long way. But a lot of your content, I've spoken there about what happened at the Olympics. The content is a mix of rugby and then body image. Do you like the two being together? Do you like keeping them separate? Which is the more important message?
I think for me, I've never wanted my content to be just one thing, because I think sometimes they're only thought of as a rugby player. Oh, she's just a rugby player. But I think I'm so much more than that, and you can build your brand on so much more than that. Because if you're just the rugby player for brands, who are you going to get? You're going to get this person. So I like to be in all spaces. And I think the body positivity message is just something that really is important to me. It's not so much body positivity as body appreciation, and I think it ties in so perfectly because rugby is what has given me such body appreciation, and so it just works out that I'm a rugby player who really appreciates her body because of the sport I play. But my message is kind of whatever I'm feeling that day. It's just who I am as a person. There's never one thing I'm trying to push. It's just whatever I feel like is relevant.
Randomly, I have a 5-year-old daughter. She turned around to me literally this morning as I'm doing her hair for a concert, and she goes, "Mummy, I want to be a sports person. I don't want to be beautiful." And I thought, oh, that's a strange comment to make. And I said, oh, you can be both.
Yeah.
But that's your big thing, isn't it? Beast, beauty, brains. You can do it all.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to it. They put sometimes athletes in a box. They think, oh, you're a rugby player, you're a softball player. You have to be, masculine or broad or do something like this. You can't be that. You can't want to get dressed up and put on makeup or do this thing. The thing is, like, athletes and women are so versatile. You can be beautiful and wear lipstick. I wear lipstick when I play rugby because I just feel like I don't have to sacrifice one or the other. Like, I can be a beast on the field, but also feel beautiful and wear lipstick. I also am smart. I have a nursing degree. I have a master's in business. I think for those girls out there, I think we're trying to show with rugby that it's really however you want to be as you can. It's up for you to define your own femininity or whatever it is.
Do people underestimate you a lot?
In terms of rugby?
In everything. I mean, because you said right at the top. Well, it's a question you said right at the top of this. Some people say, oh, that TikTok girl. In the, you make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah.
You are big news to so many people, and young women in particular. Do people underestimate you?
I don't. It's funny. I was just talking because people are posting, oh, the biggest star in rugby has come to PWR, to Bristol Bears. And all these men are like, she's not the biggest star in rugby. Sia Khaleesi's the biggest star. This person's the biggest star. And I think they're getting it wrong. I know I'm not the best player in rugby. I think you have the best players in Holly Aitchison, Jazz Joyce, even on this team. I have had to do it in a different way for rugby. Rugby is my thing, but I've had to kind of create this whole other thing around me. And all these guys who are commenting that she's not the biggest star, but if you were to ask some of the biggest even men's stars in the game, they'd say like, oh, the biggest star is Ilona and whatnot, because they even see the value. I've had many messages from the biggest stars saying, we love what you're doing for the game. It's even translating to the men's game as well, bringing people out. So I think they underestimate like the work off the pitch. Being on the pitch is amazing, but in a way, as a female athlete, as a female rugby player, I have to do 10 times as much off the field. I can't just play the sport I love. I'm not going to make millions playing rugby. I'm not even going to make 6 figures playing rugby. That's the sad truth. I'm not going to be like a men's player. So I can't put all my focus here. I have to put it in everything else. And somehow that's translated into being the biggest star in rugby because of my personality and because of who I am as a person and what I stand for.
And just on that, hearing you speak like that, for people who don't know, sometimes everyone thinks it's about a club or it's about a league. Often it's actually individual athletes who really drive interest in a sport. You are that individual athlete right now for rugby. Do you think that the PWR, men's Premiership rugby, we're here at Bristol Bears, are they learning from you?
I hope so. I think it'll be cool. I was just talking to Hannah today. I was like, you think the girls would want to make some TikToks with me? And she's like, yeah, I really think so. I think it'll be a cool learning curve because it's a different way that I do things and how I've seen this productivity through social media, what it's done for me. So I think that'll be interesting to kind of bring that into the Bristol Bears. I think rugby is in many ways stuck in the old ways. It's, it's on the field, you just got to work there and that's where it stops. But we have to grow as the world changes, as society changes. We want to get more players into the game. Where are those players? They're on TikTok. They're scrolling the apps. They're watching my little videos. Oh, look at this girl play rugby. We were just at an outreach program, and all these teenage girls came up and took photos with me because they saw me on TikTok. With that, maybe that translates into them wanting to play rugby. Years on, they're playing in the PWR. So I hope that Bristol, it seems like the perfect place that wants me to do my thing and wants me to post the videos and whatnot, because they've seen the value in it. And I just hope that, we can work together as a mutually beneficial to create something really big here.
And when it comes to you doing your thing, rugby, sevens has been your thing, but now it's 15. So tell me, wing, centre, back row, where are you going to go?
I'll play wherever they tell me to play. I think it'll start out as wing. Maybe do a little center. I'd love to. I just did my first ever jumps. I got lifted the other day.
You've wanted to do that for a while, haven't you?
I have. No one ever wants to lift me. Those sevens girls, those traitors. I am excited to play wherever. I think this is for me is a learning. Like I'm a complete learning curve. I've played 2 games of 15s with USA in September or October of 2021. But other than that, the last 15s I played was in college, so 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. And I do that because in the U.S., sevens is the full-time program where I get to train in the U.S. playing rugby sevens. I'd love to play more 15s. It's just not economically, maybe lifestyle where it happens. So I'm excited to come in and actually, I feel like the new kid at school. I feel like I'm so out of bounds. I don't know what words are being thrown around. This play here, this play here. Oh, if this happens, we're going to do this. I feel like I'm learning so much, but the quote that I love is life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. And I'm outside of it. My comfort zone has been sevens. And I've been the top dog at sevens. When I go onto the sevens pitch at tournaments or even just USA, like I know it. I understand it. I know our system like the back of my hand. This is where I thrive. So here, completely different, almost like Dancing with the Stars, trying something so new. But this is like, I just feel like I'm the bottom person on the pole or the totem pole, whatever, the leaderboard. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be uncomfortable and have to learn at such a quick rate because the way that these girls are playing, it doesn't allow you to get lost. You have to stick with it.
Well, that is it. If anyone who's watched Bristol Bears women, they don't like kicking the ball. They like keeping the ball in hand. Do you think maybe with your sevens, you've actually come to exactly the right place?
I really think I have. And I think even from that first call, what Dave and Tom are saying is like, I knew that this would be a great place because it gets it out to the wing a lot to have those runs. And that's where I've made my money. So I'm excited to play in this system, but there's a lot of learning to do, and I think I have to be prepared to make mistakes, which is scary knowing that, oh, people are coming to watch Ilona Maher. Ilona Maher is not perfect, and Ilona Maher has not played 15s in a while, so let's all give her some grace, because I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to be lost out there. I might miss a tackle, do something like this, but come and watch. Come watch me make mistakes. It's okay. Please don't boo, but come watch me make mistakes. And I'm just excited to see where I can go.
I'm thinking about American rugby. Your teammates are starting to come in because I know you've got a training session coming up. But American rugby, I'm thinking of the big names that have come before you. So I'm here at Bristol Bears, so I'll say AJ McGinty. I'm thinking Chris Wiles. People who think back far enough when the men's Premiership began, they're thinking of Dan Lyle. From the women's side, may she rest in peace, Kathy Flores, Kate Zachary right now, Hope Rogers. You dwarf all of them. Tell me, what is the potential for rugby in the United States?
I hope it's big, and I hope it's something, because these girls that are playing over here, like Hope, like Kate Zachary, Rachel Johnson, Alev Kelter, Catherine Trader, I mean, they left their country, their homes, to play rugby in a better place, to get paid to do it, and even then not get paid much. I think that they're the leaders in that, and they're leading us through 15s. And so I just hope, the reason I'm doing this also is so I can put myself in the best position for them, so that they can trust me on the field and they can say that she's there and she's deserving a spot. I want to be the best I can for those girls because of what they are doing for our sport, in a sport that gives nothing back to you really in the U.S., right? So I'm really hoping for big things. I'm hoping that this World Cup does some big things for us. And I hope that I can kind of fold into the team a little easier because of this here at the Bears.
I mean, you mentioned the World Cup coming up. The World Cups in the States are 31 and 33. They're probably a bit of a way off.
I'll be sleeping.
But when it comes to 2025, the opening game of the World Cup is England against the USA in Sunderland in August. What would it mean to you if you were on that pitch?
I saw that. That's going to be an opening game, huh? That would be so fun. I think even to play against some of my teammates here and be like, I gotcha, and then they, completely run over me. I would love that. I think that's a great opening game for the World Cup, and also to play England in England. Everyone wants to play a home team, even if it's met by boos and jeers. That's what gets you excited. So I'm so excited to play there. And I think it's a great one to kick off because people are going to be noticing, and then you get to see us play, and you also get to see, England play. Like, oh, look at that way they're playing rugby. So I just hope it opens the door for the whole World Cup.
Before I let you go, the roast or the sausage roll, which was best?
Okay, I think we went to a bad place for a roast. I think we need to go somewhere where it's a fresher roast. This one felt maybe heated up in a microwave type. The sausage roll was a Greg's roll.
Classic.
It's a sausage roll.
Classic.
It's like didn't change my life, but it was still good. Okay? So I think I just need to get better of each. I've heard the Gloucester service is the one to go to.
Oh,
anybody?
Gloucester services.
Everyone's talking about
nodding.
these services, you weirdos.
Yeah.
We call it a rest stop.
You need to go to that rest stop.
Okay, cool.
Ilona, it was a pleasure meeting you. Good luck with your session and good luck with your career in 15s.
Thank you so much.